Hey, how's everyone today? So, I just wanted to show my next Tower 55 locomotive in my collection because I'm trying to collect all the Tower 55s. I just gotta be a little patient, and sometimes the pricing is a little high, and have to do a little bit of negotiating and get the prices down a little bit. But of course, with my previous ones, these have a lot of really nice separately applied brass details. So we can just start by, well, first I'll start by saying that the livery of this one here is a heritage livery for BNSF. So it's got the orange and the green and the yellow. Well, I mean, it's looking kind of yellow from my perspective. And there's what the box looks like, Tower 55. And we'll just go over a few things. So, separately applied details, we have uh, we have windshield wipers. Those are brass. We have separately applied grab irons, which are brass. We have separately applied grab irons everywhere, just going down the nose of the locomotive. On top of the nose of the locomotive, we got a little grab iron right there on top of the roof. I mean, they're all over the place. Look at the sand filler hatches we got on the nose. The walkway and grab rails, those are all brass. Even the ditch lights, they're brass. And down on the pilot, we got a plow. We got some MU hoses. We got another, I forget what the red hose is. I can't remember. My bad. And we even got a separately applied plate on the front of the walkway there, and I think that is brass. Separately applied brass plate. The steps, they are not see through, but they are done really nice. The paint on it is really crisp, and that's one thing I really like about these locomotives. I mean, they're getting up there in age now. So these are roughly 2004, 2005. I should have looked at the instructions. It could have told me. They didn't make them very long, and then they sold the mold and the tooling to Atherin, and these turned into Atherin's ES44 units. Let's get a little look here on the side. There is see-through vents there, so that is pretty cool. Here, I'll gently. Yeah, it's the traction motors that are like really super nice on these because they have actual traction motors. Well, it's the same driveline as their brass locomotives. So this is basically an overland locomotive, but it was their plastic division they called Tower 55. So I'll see if I can get it there. Yeah, see, you can see right through the trucks because it's got drive axles and gears in every box. I'll flip it over so you can see it. Now, back in the day, there is underpiping detail, but it's just molded into the body. But that is so acceptable, considering how old this thing is now, right? And of course, the along the walkway, it is textured, but also the walkway railings are metal, which is really, well, not metal. Sorry, they're brass. They're brass too. I think the horn looks pretty cool. Camera's not picking it up there. Now, if I pull off, the exhaust stack off, there's a little button in there. And the instruction doesn't tell you what it does, but I think it has something to do with two different modes. Now, this is the analog version, so it's DC only. So I think it's two different modes on how the locomotive will accelerate and speed down. And we got separately applied little fans in there and molded radiator vents, which is perfectly acceptable for back in the day. But man, like I'm thinking back in 2005, and I mean, it blows my mind now. But just imagine, the mind blowing back then. Would be pretty crazy. Look at that. Oh man, night. I just love that. I love seeing through like that. Here, let me turn it around to the back. I don't think I'm definitely furthest from the greatest person with doing reviews because I always forget the names of everything, but there we go. I mean, we got great detail on the back of the Pilot. Like, look at the MU hoses. Oh yeah, and they all come from the factory of Kadee couplers. So you always get Kadees with them. So we got the MU hoses. We got I think those are other kind of electrical hoses, I do believe. And then we got the nice brass railings coming down towards the steps. Nicely textured walkway. We got some more grab irons there, some white ones there on the back. We got the rear light. We got some more grab irons on the back in orange. Let's come around the side. The paint on the steps look nice and crisp. Like, I absolutely love these. To me, they're like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. Oh yeah, and I wanted to mention, so Tower 55, they do this line going down the top of the locomotive, and I don't see all manufacturers doing this. Tower 55 does it. We'll look over here at my new Intermountain ES series. So this is a brand new run that Intermountain does, and it has the line up there. But I noticed I don't know what that strip is for. If it's to illuminate something, I'm not too sure. But it has it. But not every locomotive manufacturer do I see doing that. But I just wanted to point that out because all my Tower 55s have it. And let's see. Oh, yeah, we got some walkway steps going up there. That's cool. And it's got decent underbody detailing, for the year it came out, especially. The air reservoirs there. I mean, they look fine. The fuel tank detail look fine. Of course, a lot of things have came in the past 20 years with the detail, with the air reservoirs and everything. But I mean, to this day, it's still a gorgeous locomotive. There is interior detail. My phone is not going to really pick it up all that well. And I love the brass vent shades, the top and the side, wind deflectors. Yeah, the paint's nice and crisp. I'll just go down it here and just let it speak for itself. Oh, yeah, and I will carefully put it on its side. It is a pretty tough locomotive, I've noticed, but I still want to be careful not to break anything so we can see those nice traction motors. So we got drive shafts up in between there and legit actual traction motors. Makes it look really cool. I like it. Rapido's starting to do stuff like this. Aurora Miniature did it on their SD60F. They did a really extra job on it. But yeah, man, I absolutely trying my best to collect these when I can find a good deal. They're very much a favorite of mine personally. I just think they're just such a unique thing. They don't exist anymore. They only made so many of them. So, more reasons why I just want to keep finding them if I can get them for a good price. There, let me get a down low shot there so you can see through those traction motors. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? That is so cool. And the brass, and the amount of brass that's used is awesome. But I can't put it on the layout right now. I had to do a little bit of work. These locomotives are notorious for the little tiny gear that connects on to the drive shafts that go into the gearbox, the top gearbox, that send the power to the gears down into the trucks. This little gearbox, not all of them have the problem, but my two are split. So I did some rigging up, a little bit of plastic weld to hold the crack together, and some epoxy on the tip of the drive shaft to put inside when I slip the gear back on. So it's probably temporary, but I just want to see it go around the track a few times, and that'll make me happy. And then there is a website where I can order some metal drive shaft gears for the little gear on the end of the front and rear drive shaft. I know where I can get new ones at. This a little temporary fix. I was actually told of a even better idea, but I didn't have the materials to use at the moment, so it will hold for a little bit. So I'll get it to do some ripping around on another video. But yeah, I just wanted to share my next Tower 55 that I managed to acquire. Super thrilled. I love these things. I just think they're so unique. And so basically, Athearn bought the tooling for the T55 for their sorry, having a brain fart. Let me start over with that. It's getting late at night too. So Athearn bought the tooling for this locomotive, the ES44 DC and AC. So they bought the tooling for it and the molding, and to this day, they still use the molding and their Genesis line. Of course, they just added more details over the years, and they didn't keep the same build for the trucks. Like the drivetrain, they completely use their Genesis driveline. They don't use what Tower 55 has done, or Overland, because the drive line and the trucks is the same thing as what they use in their complete brass series. So it'd be the same style of driveline. But I hope everyone enjoyed this video. So like I say, I just wanted to show my next Tower 55 to add to my collection. And I'm currently in negotiations, or trying to get into negotiations and working on my next one. And I'll have to see how that goes. So hopefully it goes good and I purchase it, and it'll be super epic. I'll be so excited. But everyone, take care. Have an excellent day. Like and subscribe if you wish. And I'll have another video going soon.